Hello, hello, hello. Here I am, Friday energy forecast. I'm really excited to be here. It's another beautiful day. I'm out on my deck with these cherry blossoms, which only are really in bloom for like a couple weeks and then they kind of go away. They're already starting to go away, but it's a really beautiful day out here. And I'm super excited because I got the hit this morning that I was going to do like a Q&A style kind of thing today. And I'm going to start off by answering some of the questions that I get all the time by a lot of people. So I'm just going to answer them here. And hopefully it'll be really helpful for you guys because I know these are things that come up not only like just once in your journey, but usually at every level. Questions like these will come up. So I'm excited to just dive in here and answer these questions for you. Also, if you're watching live and you have a question, you can pop it into the comments and I will answer. So, yeah, let's dive right in. Also, I just want to say, as far as like energetically right now, there is a lot of, what's the word? I would say it feels like there's an energy of like opening, but it also feels like we've kind of hit a place of calm where there's not any like craziness happening. It feels like we've hit kind of like a plateau of energy where we're just kind of like coasting a little bit. It feels like. However, I am seeing that there's a lot of like spontaneous feeling changes happening for people where if there is something in your life that is not feeling aligned, it's gonna start to get pushed out of your life, whether you like it or not. And I'm noticing that with multiple clients, where whatever is not aligned for them is slowly starting to be nudged out of their lives. So that is very real and very true right now. And I think we're going to continue to see things of that nature for the rest of the year because on a larger scale we are moving through this very transformational time on our planet. And as I predicted at the beginning of 2021, it's going to get harder and harder to do things that are out of alignment for you. It's just going to start to feel more and more difficult to engage in activities or live your life in a way that is not in alignment with your true soul, your true calling, your true mission and purpose on this planet. Is just going to start to feel more and more uncomfortable for you the more you try to make decisions or take actions that are not in alignment with who you really are on a soul level. So, with that being said, I just want to jump right in here to the questions. So, I came up with some questions that I get all the time that I think will be really helpful for you guys to hear the answers to. So, the first one is, once I've identified what's blocking me, how do I shift it? Okay, so I get this question so much, especially with current clients, because most of the work that I do is identifying blocks or pain points with precision so that we can move through them quickly so that you can move to your next level. So a lot of times what happens when we first start out in our journey, I will tell you immediately, like, this is what it is, this is what's blocking you, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I 100% agree with you. Now what do I do? Right? So I've identified the block, right? For example, maybe it was you have a pattern of betrayal because your parents betrayed you emotionally, right? Maybe they didn't show up for you, they didn't take care of you, you had abuse or whatever. Or another example could be maybe it's a pattern of abandonment, like your parents abandoned you, maybe not physically, but emotionally, they weren't able to show up for you. Whatever it is, we've identified the block, right? We've identified the core wound that is holding you back, right? Now what? So the answer to that is we must move through the energy. And what that means is we have to access the emotions that are underneath of that block, right? Underneath of that pattern. So, for example, if it's a pattern of abandonment, then we have, sorry, there's a really loud plane. Then we have, oh, it's a helicopter. We have to identify the deeper pattern of, we have to identify the emotion that's underneath the pattern of abandonment. So usually it'll be a deep sense of sadness and feeling unsafe, feeling not good enough, not enough, whatever it is. But we have to access the emotion behind that and then actually allow yourself to go there with feeling the emotion. And that's where the tools come in of breath work, energy work, and getting support from someone like me who knows how to intentionally and deeply guide you through that process, right? So essentially, when you come up against the block, when you identify the block, in order to successfully move through it and shift the energy, you have to feel the emotion that's underneath of it. You can't intellectualize it. You can't just say it. You have to actually feel it so that you can embody an energetic shift to move through that pattern and release the block. Okay? So that's basically how it works. And that's why I use these really powerful tools like breath work, like energy work, to help you have an energetic shift in the body so that you can embody a new energy and you're no longer playing out that pattern or coming up against that block. Okay, so that's the first question. Second question, hold on, I'm just going back to what I wrote down here. What actually is shadow work and why do I need to do it? Okay, really good question. So what actually is shadow work? So doing shadow work is basically digging into the subconscious mind to find the wounds or aspects of ourselves that we're denying or that we are compartmentalizing or not looking at or pushing away and pretending that they aren't there. And the reason why we do that is because we think it's too painful to deal with those feelings. So we suppress them and we pretend they're not there. But then what ends up happening is they come out in other ways. They can surface as depression, anxiety, relationship issues, money issues, right? Anytime you're having some kind of issue in your life, it's usually a result of a suppressed emotion that you haven't dealt with. So shadow work is essentially digging up and uncovering suppressed emotional energy that you have not dealt with and bringing it into the conscious mind, shining a light on it, moving through the emotions, identifying them and moving through them, actually acknowledging them and facing them, and then actually embracing that part of yourself, right? So a lot of it is not really about necessarily releasing anything, like you want to have an emotional release, but really you're fully embracing and integrating a piece of yourself that you had previously unacknowledged, suppressed, or put away and compartmentalized. And the reason why we have to do that work is because those things that are living in our subconscious that are unacknowledged or suppressed will show up in our lives as blocks, right? So again, it can show up as not being able to grow your business, not being able to attract clients, not being able to make more money, not having successful relationships, right? Things just not working in general. All of that is how your shadows show up to get your attention so that you look at them. So that's basically what it is, and that's why you need to do it. Unless you don't want to grow or move forward, then you don't have to do it. But I'm guessing if you're here, you probably want to grow and move forward. So it is a necessary thing to do. And you will be shown what your shadows are or what you have to move through by the results that you're getting in your life, right? So I always say one of the best ways to know what is living in your subconscious is looking at the results you're getting in your life. And if there's anything in your life that you are wanting that is not coming in, you have a subconscious limiting belief, stuck emotion, or old energetic pattern that you're not looking at that needs to be cleared so that that thing can show up in your life. Okay, and then the next one is, how exactly do you receive powerful and potent messages from spirit? Okay, this is a really good one. So, for me, I've been receiving messages from spirit my whole life. I just didn't really realize it until later on. And I think that's the case for a lot of people. I think a lot of people don't give themselves enough credit for the energy and information that they are receiving from the other realms, from the other dimensions. I think that one of the most important ways to start to receive really potent and powerful messages is two things. One is to sit with yourself, either a meditation or breath work, and start to ask questions and listen for the answer, right? So I think what a lot of people miss is that you have to ask the right questions in order to get the information you want to get. So information is not necessarily just going to fall out of the sky. You have to ask the questions about the things that you want to know, so that people can, so that you can get the information that you want, right? You have to tell spirit what you want. You have to tell your guides what you want so that you can get the information that you want. I always tell people your guides work for you, you don't work for them. So you tell them what you want. And then the other piece of it is you have to trust the information that comes through. So and the other piece of this too, you guys, is you have to do the inner work so that you can become a clear channel. Because if you don't do the inner work, then you're not going to be a clear channel to receive messages, because all of your patterns, all of your limiting beliefs, all of your junk is going to get in the way of you being able to receive clear messages. So that's the other piece. And then the most important thing is trusting the information that you're receiving. A lot of times we receive messages from spirit, we receive information, but we don't trust it and we invalidate it because we don't think it's real and it's not coming in the way that we thought it would. Like maybe you're receiving a message via another person saying something to you. Maybe you're receiving a message via just like a random thought that seems to pop in your head. We never know the different ways we're going to receive messages, and everyone receives messages differently. Everyone has a different way that they receive information. Everyone has a different relationship with spirit and just how they receive things. Some people feel things more in the body. Some people get things as more of like a knowing or a thought. Some people see visuals. Some people hear things. Like, it comes in all different ways. So I think the most important thing is being open to the different ways that information and energy is going to show up for you, and not thinking that it's just going to like fall out of the sky and you're going to get like this very clear sign. Sometimes it takes being open to different ways that messages and information is coming through to you. Okay, and then the last one. Oh, my favorite question. How did you grow your business so quickly? Okay, so it's really interesting. When I set out in 2020 to start my business, I did not know how quickly it was going to grow, and I did not know how quickly it was going to evolve into what it evolved into. But what I did know is that I was willing to go all in, and I was willing to do whatever it took to have the impact that I knew I was meant to have, and to have the business that I knew I was meant to have. And I would say the biggest factors for me is I figured out how to quickly move through my trauma, quickly and efficiently move through my trauma, because when you're a business owner and you go down this path, your trauma will come up at every level. At every turn, your trauma is going to come up. And if you don't know how to navigate that, and you don't know how to move through that, and you don't know how to get support with that, you won't move forward. And then the second thing is I always made decisions based on where I wanted to be, not where I was at. And if that meant agreeing to make investments that I didn't know how the money was going to show up, I did that, and the money always showed up. So I really was willing to go all in. I was willing to kind of put my money where my mouth is and take risks and jump with both feet. And it always paid off. I never had a time where I couldn't pay the things I agreed to pay for my business. And then it also forced me to really show up for my investments and do the work and show up in like this really big energy where I was like, I'm doing this and I am going to make it work no matter what. So I think those are the biggest things. The trauma piece is huge. I really firmly believe, from my experience and what I see with everyone, if you don't get support with moving through your trauma, that is going to seriously inhibit your ability to grow your business. And then the second thing is you always have to be thinking from as the person, as your future self. Always making decisions as your future self, even if it's scary, even if it doesn't make sense. throw out everything that makes sense and do what your intuition is telling you to do and become the person you want to be, especially when you make decisions. So that is my answer to that. Um, and it looks like I don't have anybody on here right now, which is funny. I feel like Facebook is probably hiding, like it does sometimes, hiding my lives. So if you guys have questions that come up when you watch this video back, just put them in the comments, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, and I will do my best to get back to your questions. But just a couple quick announcements. First of all, my retreat, the Manifestation Magic Retreat, is filling up quickly. So if you are feeling the pull to join us in the Catskill Mountains August 25th to 28th to create an energetic portal for manifestation and create some really powerful and potent movement in your life towards creating what you want, this retreat is for you. The pricing is really good. It is, you get 2 group breathwork and energy healing activation sessions with me. You also get a 45-minute one-on-one session with me before the retreat. So we go into your Akashic records. We get really clear on what it is that you want to create at the retreat, and then at the retreat we create this like energetic portal to propel you into that manifestation. The retreat also includes a group sound healing, really powerful session with Andrea Donnelly. It includes 2 group yoga classes, a group guided hike, a bonfire, pool access, and then there's a spa right there where you can have all these spa treatments. That's totally up to you. You can book those separately. And it also includes vegetarian meals the whole time. It's a beautiful retreat center. It's called Menla in the Catskill Mountains. You can look it up, or you can go to my site, alysebreeze.com, and there's information about it right on the homepage. So definitely reach out to me if you're feeling the pull, because the spots are filling. I only have 13 spaces, and I think I only have 10 or 9 left at this point. And it probably will fill up, I'm guessing, in the next few weeks. So definitely reach out to me about that. And then also, I am opening up a few spaces for people to come into my new client package at a discount. And this is for new clients only. This is a package I offer only to new clients. It is 5 healing sessions, plus Voxer, plus a personalized breathwork session, all focused on moving through like your core trauma. And you also get access to a digital toolkit that's yours for life of breathwork sessions, meditations, journaling, videos, and really powerful tools to move through trauma. So if that's something that you might be interested in or feel the pull, reach out to me and I can send you the details about that. I'm only opening up 3 spots for that. So reach out to me if that feels like a fit for you or you want to know more about that. And I'm only offering the discount for 3 people, and it's probably just going to be like for the next week or so until those spots fill, and then it'll be over. But I just got the hit to open that up for a few people that it feels aligned for. So yes, definitely reach out to me about any of those things. And I am sending you guys so much love. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I will talk to you soon.